Hello, my name is Brittany D. I am a psychic medium and spiritual teacher. My divine purpose is to assist in the expansion of the collective consciousness and to help you become more connected with the divine. This is a space to remember all that you truly are and ignite the possibilities of your highest potential. Hello, hello, hello. And thank you for being present with me in this now moment. It's so good. I love tapping in with spirit. All right, guys. I'm going to tell you guys the story of the first time I hung out with myself. I realized that I told you guys that I would tell you this story in one of my very first podcast episodes, like months ago, and then I never told you guys the story. So I want to share this with you because I feel like a lot of people get really intimidating. Like whenever they first start out on the self-love, self-development, getting to know yourself journey, they're kind of intimidated. At least I know I was and I do see it in other people and clients and stuff. But I know that I was so scared for what was going to be revealed. I was like, oh my God, can I just keep distracting myself? So I want to tell you guys about the first time that I hung out with myself. The story. So I was in a relationship at the time. We were really, really intertwined, codependent intertwined, not beautiful divine intertwined. We seeked all of our validation outside of ourselves, and we were one unified being. We had completely lost ourselves individually. We didn't know who we were. I didn't really know who I was. So just being totally real, I didn't really know who I was honestly going into that relationship. And so then we just became this enmeshed being because I didn't know where I began or where I ended. Super empathic. Same thing with her. And we just became this molded uni-being. Super enmeshed. And so it was starting to get to us. We were suffocating each other, years later, after being together for years, it got to the point where I was I can't breathe. I literally am so suffocated by you. And we both felt that way. It wasn't oh God, I'm sick of you. We were both oh my God, I can't breathe. I don't know who I am anymore. Am I you? Do I like this? Or do I just like that because you like that? We both were we really, really have to get to know ourselves. We have to be two individual beings coming together, not this one uni-being. And so we made intention. We created a circumstance in our home and, with her changing jobs, she was gone during the week. We just made decisions that would provide space for that. And our goal was to move through that process and become two individual beings and just teamwork together as two individual beings. And, long story short, unfortunately, after trying to do that for quite some time, almost a year, we tried to just really get to know ourselves and create some space. It was just we had done too much damage with the enmeshment. To undo it was just so challenging that it just got to a point where we just were okay, we just have to separate and get to know ourselves individually. But that was probably 8 or 9 months after this night, this story that I'm telling you. And so she, got this job where she was going to be gone 5 days a week. She would fly out on Monday mornings and then fly in on Friday nights and then be home Saturday, Sunday, and then fly out on Monday mornings, fly in on Friday nights, blah, blah, blah. And so I was living at we had this farm, this 40-acre farm, and literally we're in the middle of the woods, there's no one around. I mean, we had our neighbors that were also on the property. It was a community property. So there was someone else that had lived across the street. And then there was other lady was moving in. She just put her trailer down and then was slowly moving in, to the property. But in this house, it was this beautiful 2-story house. Half of the house was a greenhouse and this beautiful big wraparound deck and all this woods around us. And we had the chickens and the dogs and the garden and it was so cool. It was so neat, but I was going to be completely by myself. And I was like, oh, snap. And so when she first left that very first week that she got that job, and the intention was to have space and to get to know ourselves. I was scared shitless of what was going to be revealed, what was going to happen if I'm just with myself. And so, I'm spending all this time on the internet, distracting myself with social media, calling friends, spending hours on the phone with people, just doing everything I could to avoid just being with myself. And even when I was gardening and like working with the chickens or the dogs or doing any kind of training and stuff, like, yes, I was by myself, but I was still distracting myself with something. I knew I needed to just sit and just be with myself, just treat myself. And so finally, I surrendered. I knew, I was like, okay, are we really going to call another friend and spend 2 hours on the phone? Like, you just got to give in, Brittany. And so I made a bath and lit candles and, set up a little music and a nice little scene for myself. And this bathtub was like an old fashioned bathtub with the window above and all the trees around. Oh, it's so gorgeous. I love the scene, the visual that I'm getting in my mind right now. Cause it was such a gorgeous place, like a really old wood, solar panels, wood fire stove, just a beautiful cabin in the woods. And so I draw a bath and I'm like literally like, I'm thinking about like how I was feeling inside. And I was like, oh shit, I'm going to do this. Okay, we're going to do this. And I get down in the tub and I put my hands out and I'm like, all right, it's time. I got to just relax. And so I just became present. I just relaxed into that moment. And then I started asking myself questions. Like I was just talking to myself, like actually hanging out with myself, not just being alone and doing things, but actually conversating with myself, asking myself, how did I feel? How was your day today? How are you feeling right now? How are you feeling? What's going on in your body? Like just talking to myself like I would a friend or a partner. And it took not even, I would say like 2 minutes, maybe max 5 minutes, but I feel like I can safely say 2 minutes till I am literally cracking up. Like I'm laughing so hard in this tub, like splashing, like, holy shit, I'm having the best time. Like, I am so fucking cool, dude. I'm so cool. I actually think I might be one of the coolest people that walks this earth. Like, I said something to myself that just cracked it was some joke, some witty joke that I came back at myself with myself. And it was so funny. And I was like, oh my God, dude, you're fucking hilarious. And I just started cracking up. And I just remember it was such a profound turning moment because I was like, why the fuck have I been avoiding this for years? Why have I been avoiding this? I'm like the fucking coolest. I'm so dope. Like that was such a good time. And then, so from that point on, I was like, I'm totally down to hang out with myself. And it was beautiful that we had set up this thing where she was gone 5 days of the week. So she was by herself working, and would have her evenings in the hotel room. And then I was working and then have my evenings at the house. And then on the weekends we had together. And so like over those months when she was working that job, I just had the best time by myself, man. And it all started with that like intentional moment of being like, no, I'm going to hang out with myself. I'm going to get to know myself, like really talk to myself and make myself laugh and bring myself joy. And And I know like now, years and years later, like I've developed such a deep connection and deep relationship with myself that I spend way more time with myself, hanging out with myself, because it's the best. It is literally the best. Like, and I love my people and I love connecting with people. Like you all are my people listening right now, but my me time is like gold. So I spend a lot more time alone now than I do interacting with people. But I just remember like that was just such a turning point moment for me. Like I just remember it so vividly because I was so scared. There was so much fear behind it. And I think that we're raised to be so not necessarily like our parents or anything, but just society to be so codependent for all these other things outside of ourselves to validate us, that it was that fear that like, well, what if I'm not capable of validating me? Like, what if I try this and it doesn't work? And then I need like right now, you know, as a codependent, it was like, I need someone else. But what if like I find out from doing this exercise and hanging out with myself and getting to know myself, what if I do find out that I really do need someone else? Like almost like, what if it goes bad? Like, what if I don't like myself? You know? Oh God, it's crazy to think that I used to feel this way about myself and that there are still so millions of people walking this earth that have these same fears, that are avoiding, that are running so hard from themselves. And so I just wanted to share my story because if you're listening to this and you know deep down that you are running from really just spending time and getting to know yourself and connecting to yourself and honoring yourself and indulging. Oh, I love that word just came over me. Indulging in yourself. I promise if you just do it, if you just take the leap, if you just try, there's so much beauty on the other side for you. There's so much beauty. It's such a magical life to know yourself and honor yourself and just ravish in you. It's the same as spirit, really, because it's one and the same. So, oh, that's beautiful. I just wanted to share that story with you all as an inspiration, or maybe someone that has hung out with themselves and got to know themselves, and maybe you've just been falling off lately. Maybe that's why you need to hear this. But I trust that it's going to land where it needs to land, and that I was called for a reason. I love you all so massively. I appreciate you. And also, if you need assistance, if you need like some support, some guidance in getting to know yourself, I will actually drop that in the show notes. I have a free challenge. It's a 5-day challenge and it's called Knowing Yourself, and it's completely free. You just walk through the course yourself, and each day has a training and a worksheet, and it will help you get to know yourself better and connect with yourself. Because knowing yourself, knowing who you are and where you begin and where your energy ends, and how, knowing that space and developing that relationship, it's powerful. It's super potent. And I want it for everyone. All beings deserve to know, love, and honor themselves. There's nothing to run from. There's nothing to be scared of. You're wonderful. You are absolute magic in all of your being. And I can tell you that all day, but you need to know that for yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that link below. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Maybe go hang out with yourself after hearing this. And I will catch you guys next week. Much love. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed that episode. Please subscribe, leave a review. And if this was impactful for you at all, please share it with others. This is how we can help each other. Much love and namaste.